Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening. As we're here now on the 30th of July, it's hard to believe we're going into August so fast, but we are. And it is just after 6:20 p.m. Central Time. So before we get to how the markets did today and what's going on with that, tomorrow's news, we get the Mortgage Bankers Association at 6 in the morning. We'll get ideas on what mortgage rates are going to do from there. The Bank of Japan in the morning, I don't know the time, is going to announce their monetary policy decision. Market widely expects they'll play with their bond buying program. It's a flip of a coin. Do they go to interest rate hike or not? ADP July job sector, the net change data comes out at 7:15. The market's expecting about 150,000 new jobs. The second quarter 2024 employment cost index comes out at 7:30. They think it went up a tad. July Chicago PMI data, well, that'll come out at 8:45. The National Association of Realtors, U.S. June, the word is June there. Pending home sales will come out at 9 o'clock. We saw today numbers that if you saw Case-Shiller, where you went up over 6% on homes again. So home prices, even though they're not selling, they just keep raising them, and they were up 0.3 month over month. Federal Reserve monetary policy decision at 1 o'clock, followed by the press conference at 1:30, EIA production estimates, and then on Thursday morning, you're going to get the Bank of England. What are they going to do with their interest rates? So it is wild, and then on Friday, we're going to get the U.S. jobs report. So a lot going on. Now, Israel did attack today in Beirut. They went after, they claim, the Hezbollah commander that was responsible, in their eyes, for the 12 youngsters that were killed this week. And they certainly launched missiles. I don't know how many died, but you can count on it. People are dead. The report is that Israel is saying they believe that they killed the commander, but I don't know. And we'll see how many people got hurt on that. I bring this up for one reason. It's the tit for tat. If that's it, it dies off here. It's a shame that all these people have to die in these tit for tats. But if now Hezbollah wants to strike back in a bigger way for this, then it's just going to keep escalating back and forth, and that is the fear everybody has. Still no deal on Hamas-Israel treaty. In the marketplace, you can see the stock market tonight up a little bit. AMD was a beater tonight, and that picked up on NVIDIA, which went down hard today. And NVIDIA's up in the aftermarket about 4.5%, and that's helping these markets. But there's plenty of misses going on in the market, and you've got to pay attention. Companies like Microsoft getting punished because they're investing a lot of money in CapEx on AI, and the returns aren't there at this point. And we knew that would happen. Energy prices up. I don't know if that has anything at all to do with what went on in Lebanon with Israel's attack in Beirut. And that's the unusual part. They went right into Beirut and did it. And obviously, the foreign minister of Lebanon is running to the UN complaining about that. Bonds and notes pretty much unchanged going into the report. But as I said, you got to bid in the gold market. The copper market's having trouble getting out of its own way here in the 409 area. It keeps wanting to probe the $4 mark. Happen to be watching at the end of the day Kramer giving his chart analysis, or some other, actually it was another analyst, and he was reiterating what they were saying, that the $4 zone is the first test, and if that gives ground, the 380 zone. We've talked about that. We can take a look at it here and you'll see. So let's go to the gold and see what we've got. As I said, you were up pretty big. All this gain is basically today. Market up now 1%. You can see, I was wondering, would it make a run to the 18-day average, or is it going to get over that high on a closing basis and say that another run to the upside is underway? When you look at the bar chart of the day, I don't think you can read a lot from that. The pattern is one of lower highs and lower lows, and you have a bounce. Where do you think the market bounced up to and is fighting? Look at this 18-day average of closes that I tell you is the line in the sand, and so often that's where markets go to fight a battle. One of the support areas is the 100-day average. The other is the 200-day average. The Bollinger Band comes in now in both the Bollinger Band and the 100-day average are forming support in the market at 23.88. And as I said, the battleground is right here. And in terms of momentum, well, it's starting to pick up. Now, the question is, will the market be able to mount anything from here? Even if it went straight up on this pattern and took this high out, you would end up then with a lower low and a higher high, not really a trend. So I'd like to see a bit more work right in this area. In the gold-silver ratio, you can see that you got up about to 85.5 and you're backing off a little bit now. Support's back at 81.19. Have we gotten to the point where the gold's may be a little bit too expensive compared to silver's? What traders will ask themselves. You had in the silver market, and this is to me what's important, you had an outside day down on Monday. Today, Tuesday, what the market did is it took that out, which means you often go and challenge the nearest main moving average. In this case, that would be the 100-day, not the 18. The market is trying to embed with this. Let me just show you. Both numbers were under here, 16. Both numbers here were under 20. And both here. So you have an embedded reading. That's my point. Both were under 20, all of them for 3 days. And tonight, the market is flirting with getting over 21. If it does that, then as a minimum, I feel very strong that you will make a run right up here and possibly even make a run higher at the 29.83 mark if everything comes together. But the chart action is turning friendly. Now, in the copper market, as I told you, when you didn't hold the 100-day average, you then latched onto the Bollinger Band, which came about and forced an embedded reading. As long as that reading is in place, the pros are selling rallies. The most likely spots around the 414 area, which is the 200-day average. Get the red line to close over 21, and when that happens over the 200-day, well, then you open up the doors to get back to the 420s, 430s possibly. But right now, the bears are in control of this market. In platinum, you had lost your bearish embedded reading. We can go back here to today. I can go even one more day to Monday. You had the readings. And you can see you had at least several days in a row of that. If the market loses the reading, and it did it over this number, then what I think will take place, and this is today's close on Tuesday, I think you're setting up a challenge here before you get back under that low. And we'll see if, in fact, that is what takes place. But it is now a spot where the momentum on the downside has been lost, and it could be lost in a big way to give you a bit more of a rally here. Last, in the dollar, it's a hard one to call going into everything that's going to happen tomorrow. The market has rallied up to a battleground of the 100-day average and the 18, and it's just sort of hanging right here. Momentum is up, the trend is up, the bias is up. So the easiest thing for the market to do would be to rally, and that could carry you to wherever the Bollinger Band is. Right now it's 104.85, but that'll slip a little bit for tomorrow, the way the math will work. Remember, the market's not open yet. This is still Tuesday's numbers. If it drops back, the first support is 104.17. If the market takes out the lows of Monday right here, which were the 103.88 and a half, you then open up to go back down into at least the 200-day average, maybe even the Bollinger Band. A lot of people wondering, what is the next move for the dollar? I'll raise my hand. I'm in that camp right with all those people, wondering myself what that's going to be. And I'll be writing about tomorrow all this. I do my written research twice a day. I typically, and that's Monday through Thursday. I write a report starting Sunday night. Then I write another report at 11:30 to 12 o'clock in the morning Central Time for my full subscribers. In that report, I'll touch on the day's fundamentals. I'll touch on what the expectations for reports coming out that day were. Then I'll give you ideas as to what I'm seeing are the buzz things happening in the markets, often with graphics in it. buy, sell recommendations, specific stops, momentum stops. I cover it in many different ways, and you get the idea of what I'm doing. It ties together then with my morning subscriber videos where they look like this. They have a few more studies on them. And I go through both the daily often and the weekly and show you, hey, I think that you can go with this trade, go with that trade. Am I looking to be a day trader? No, not at all. I consider myself more of a swing to longer term trader. Obviously, to get to the longer term, a market has to mount one of these runs that we see so often, which are vertical runs. It's very different than the stock market because the leverage in futures makes the runs shorter in duration. That doesn't mean that they're not big in dollar amounts up or down, but that's typically how they work, and I'm giving you the benefit of my experience over all these years that I've been doing it. So you put this all together. I cover all these different sectors. So I'm really looking at the whole futures market segment with it. I do the same in ETF, but I don't do the written report with that. A lot of people take the combo. They want to get this and that. And you put it together and you're trying to come up with it. It also includes our QT Mobile, which gives you my videos, written updates. You get alerts from me. They'll be right there in a text message. Give it a click. It opens up everything you need. And you get the special reports that I'll be doing. I kept saying I do them. Then I went to Montana. They're going to start. In fact, today we spent hours figuring out something new that we're doing. And I'm going to try to introduce that in a week or so. So my complete futures research, you can get it for free if you haven't tried it. Go to Ira Epstein and Company. Ira Epstein, I say it on company, IraEpstein.com under research, or the free offers, IraEpstein.com free offers. All right, if you've had a free offer, the system won't give it to you again. I'm Ira. Thanks for watching, and I'll be talking to you all tomorrow. Take care.